Welcome to the Dragon's Den. My name is Leo Drake and thank you for spending part of your day here with me. Please consider subscribing as it is free and you don't have to kiss any frogs. If you enjoy the video, click the like button and ring the notification bell to be notified when I post a new video. In this video, we are ranking movies on the Disney Classic list from the 2000s. I've previously ranked movies from the beginning up until the end of the 1990s, so if you've not watched those videos, please do so. I will be discussing the films during this video, so consider this your one and only spoiler warning. There are 11 films on this list, so let's get to it. Number 11 is Chicken Little from 2005. I feel this movie is aimed at a younger audience, from the animation style to the names of the characters, such as Goosey Lucy, Bunny Wunny, or Morcupine Porcupine. If I could roll my eyes, consider them rickrolled. If you're over the age of 6, this is not a fun movie. Chicken Little warns the people of Oakley Oaks the sky is falling. No one believes him, and a year later he is still known for the mistake. Chicken Little hopes to do something big so people forget his previous mistake and he can make his dad proud. So Chicken Little signs up for the baseball team, and during a big game against their local rivals, Chicken Little scores the winning point. Everyone celebrates and it feels like the past has been forgotten until Chicken Little sees a piece of the sky fall again. This time, joined by his friends, Abby Mallard and Runt of the Litter, they discover aliens. Chicken Little rings the warning bell that the aliens disappear, so the townspeople and even his own father do not believe him. Chicken Little finds an alien that has been left behind, who looks like the hair from a 90s troll figure with eyes. Aliens, realising their child is missing, invade on a rescue mission. Chicken Little helps reunite the alien child with his parents, who call off the alien invasion. This movie feels self-aware, but many of the references don't match the film, and I dislike it when bad movies reference good movies because it just points out that I could be watching something better. The aliens are superficial and the baseball game a missed opportunity. Overall, if you're over 6 years old, I would not recommend this film to you. Number 10 is Home on the Range from 2004. This film sees Maggie the cow dropped off at a farm called Patch of Heaven. The owner, Pearl, is struggling to pay her bills and the bank are threatening to evict her. Maggie and her two new friends, Grace and Mrs. Calloway, plan to capture the bandit, Alameda Slim, and get the reward money to pay off the bank. Alameda Slim is buying up the land he impoverishes, he is caught, and the farm is saved. I don't really have much to say about this movie because not much really happens and it is extremely forgettable.
You're basic.
Number 9 is Meet the Robinsons from 2007. I really thought this movie was going to be last on this list. Here we are. Lewis lives at the orphanage with his roommate Goob. He likes inventing but fails to impress potential parents. Lewis brings a memory scanner to the school science fair, hoping to remember his mum who left him at the orphanage when he was a baby, but an evil man wearing a bowler hat sabotages the project so he can steal it for himself. A kid named Wilbur is from the future and is after the evil bowler hat guy. He takes Lewis in his spaceship to the future where they crash. Bowler Hat Dude tries to sell the invention but does not know how it works. Lewis meets the Robinsons who are a uniquely dysfunctional family. Characters are all unusual, don't really mesh together. Lewis makes a deal with the old black guy to show him how the machine works if he takes him back in time to see his mother leave him at the orphanage. Lewis finally gets adopted and finds the family he always wanted. My biggest problem with this film is I guess the ending so early on, it made the movie feel long and predictable. I know the movie is made for kids, the time travel element and characters just felt very generic. The villain of this movie is a bowler hat called Doris. You might think that is not generic, but there is a reason no one else is doing that. Number 8 is Emperor's New Groove from the year 2000. Emperor Kuzco is a selfish jerk. Isma is his advisor, and when she is fired by Kuzco, she seeks revenge so she can take his place. Isma's assistant Kronk is an imbecile until it comes to the language of squirrels, where he is an expert. Kuzco summons Pasha to inform him his village is being knocked down and replaced by a new summer house. Kuzco is poisoned and turned into a llama. Kronk is tasked with getting rid of the Emperor, who ends up on Pasha's cart. Pasha returns home to his llama farm and family. Kuzco wants to go back to the palace, but Pasha refuses to take him unless he spares the village. Kuzco agrees, but he does not mean it. Kronk and Isma learn Kuzco is still alive and try to hunt him down. Pasha and Kuzco learn to get along, and the Emperor discovers that no one misses him and that he is all alone. Pasha and Kuzco return to the palace, find a cure, and defeat Isma. I appreciate some people may enjoy the humour in this movie, but I find it and the characters mostly annoying, which is why it sits lower in my list.
Well, you got me. By all accounts, it doesn't make sense.
Number 7 is Dinosaur from 2000. There are a lot of Disney movies about cats and dogs, only one about dinosaurs, which seems strange to me. Unfortunately, this movie is only okay, as they don't really use the opportunities available. In a land before time, Aladar's dinosaur egg is discovered by a family of monkeys. Yes, that great dinosaur species, monkeys. Aladar is raised by the primates until a meteor hits and destroys their home. Aladar and his surviving family join a migratory herd heading for the nesting grounds led by Crone, whose sister Neera catches Aladar's eye. Aladar travels with the stragglers at the back, who struggle to keep up and make it across the desert. Aladar finds water under the surface, but the herd is being tracked by carnivores. The stragglers take shelter in a cave and are trapped before finding a way out, which leads to the nesting ground. The normal entrance is blocked, and Aladar returns to the herd so he can lead them safely through, but he is followed by a carnivore. Crone wants to climb the obstruction, but Aladar warns the other side is too steep a drop. Crone and Aladar fight. Neera sides with Aladar before a carnivore enters the valley. Aladar orders the herd to stand together against the predator, but Crone is alone and makes an easy target. Neera and Aladar fight to protect Crone, and the carnivore is pushed over a cliff. Crone dies, but the herd safely reach the nesting ground. I think the creators spent a lot of time focused on the look of this movie, which by today's standard is nothing special. They should have concentrated on telling an improved story, and it would have held up a lot better. Number 6, and halfway through this list, is Atlantis, The Lost Empire from 2001. This film is a great example of Disney movies in the 2000s. It's not a bad movie, but neither is it anything special or memorable. Atlantis is lost to the depths of the sea. Milo Thatch works at the museum, keeping the boiler working. He dreams of finding the lost city of Atlantis, but no one believes it exists until Mr. Whitmore, a friend of Milo's grandfather, agrees to finance an expedition. They travel by submarine, which is attacked by a mechanical leviathan. The survivors escape in lifeboats, and Milo navigates their passage using the shepherd's journal, which was bequeathed to him by his grandfather. After a few adventures, they discover Atlantis. Milo meets Kida, an Atlantean, hoping the newcomers will help them return the city to its former glory. The king is suspicious of the strangers and orders them to leave. Milo and Kida visit an underwater mural, searching for the power source known as the Heart of Atlantis. The crew seek to steal the wealth and capture Milo and Kida. Power source chooses Kida, and she is trapped by Rourke, who wishes to sell the power to the highest bidder. Some members of the crew remain with Milo, and together they seek to save Kida and Atlantis. Milo restores forgotten Atlantean technology and goes after Rourke. With help from his friends, Milo defeats Rourke and returns Kida to Atlantis, where he remains. This is not a bad film, but it needs more humour, more original and deeper characters, better transitions between story beats, and there are no real songs. Making the top 5 is Lilo and Stitch from 2002. The United Galactic Federation imprisoned Dr. Jamba for creating Experiment 626, who is banished to exile on an abandoned asteroid, but 626 escapes to Earth. Dr. Jamba and Ambassador Pleakley are tasked with bringing 626 back in return for the crazy scientist's freedom. Lilo lives with her sister Nani on a Hawaiian island. Social worker Cobra Bubbles gives her 3 days to improve the domestic situation, or he will take Lilo away. 626 gets run over by a truck and put in the pound.
Welcome to Earth.
Lilo is lonely and Nani thinks a pet might help. Lilo chooses Stitch, who is being hunted by Dr. Jumba. Nani gets fired from her job at the luau. Ahana means family, and family means no one gets left behind or forgotten. Stitch is a wrecking ball, and interestingly, the main musical influence in this movie is Elvis Presley. Social worker Cobra Bubbles, which is a great name, stops by and tells Nani she needs to find a new job and ensure Stitch is well behaved before the deadline. Lilo tries to teach Stitch to be like the king, but fails. The family goes surfing, and as Dr. Jamba and Pleakley fail to capture Stitch, they are fired and replaced by Captain Gatto. Jumba feels released from restrictions of rules and attempts to capture Stitch, resulting in the family house being destroyed. Gantu takes Lilo, but Stitch rescues her. Stitch has found his family and is allowed to stay by the United Galactic Federation. Lilo is a sweet character, and their dynamic with her sister is entertaining. This movie has a few original ideas and a few laughs, inching it higher on this list. The next 2 movies are incredibly close, but coming in at number 4 is Bolt from 2008. Bolt is adopted from Silver Lake Animal Rescue by Penny. The movie then changes pace as 5 years later, Penny's father has been captured after enhancing his daughter's pet dog Bolt to protect her. Penny and Bolt seek to rescue her father from the evil Dr. Calico. Bolt has speed like Sonic the Hedgehog, strength like the Hulk, lasers coming from his eyes like Crypto, and a super bark like Black Bolt. Unfortunately, it is revealed to be a TV show and only Bolt is unaware. The network wants more drama, so the director creates a cliffhanger. Bolt, believing Penny is still in danger, breaks out to save her, but reality bites. Bolt is transported offset and believes a cat named Mittens knows where Penny is. Rhino, a hamster and superfan, joins the unlikely party. Mittens tells Bolt his life is not real and it is just a TV show. They are captured by animal control and taken to the pound. Rhino frees Bolt and together they rescue Mittens. Bolt learns to be a normal dog and wants to return to Penny. Mittens was previously left behind by her person and warns Bolt against going back. Bolt returns home to Hollywood and Rhino convinces Mittens to follow him. On the movie set, Bolt has been replaced, not in Penny's heart. After an accident causes a fire, Bolt returns to save Penny. Bolt, Rhino and Mittens go home with Penny and her mother. I think this movie could have been better if the reveal came later. The show was interesting and much of the rest of the movie feels similar to what we've seen before. At number 3 is Brother Bear from 2003, which is a story of 3 brothers. The youngest brother, Kenai, has his manhood ceremony and his totem is the Bear of Love. In his haste to attend the ceremony, Kenai fails to put a basket of food out of reach and it is disturbed by a bear. Kenai hunts the bear and his brothers come to his aid. The oldest brother, Sitka, sacrifices himself to save his siblings. Kenai wants revenge and goes on a bear hunt. He abandons his totem and mocks the spirits. The surviving middle brother, Denahai, follows after Kenai, who slays a bear before being visited by spirits and transformed into a bear himself. Denahai believes Kenai has been killed by the bear and goes on a bear hunt. The shaman tells Kenai he must go to the mountain where lights in the sky touch the earth and reunite with Sitka's spirit. Kenai can now talk to animals. He comes across a little bear who frees him from a trap before Denahai attacks them. Kenai goes with Koda to the summon run, which is next to the mountain where the light touches the earth. Koda and Kenai grow close during their trip. Koda reveals bears believe in spirits too, and they argue and discover cave paintings before once again escaping from Denahai. Koda and Kenai arrive at the salmon run, where Koda reveals his mother was the bear Kenai killed. Kenai tells Koda the truth, and they split up. Kenai goes to the mountain where he fights Denahai, but Koda returns to help him, and Sitka changes him back to a human. Kenai chooses to be a bear and look after Koda, while Denahai has closure. Phil Collins has a few songs in this film, but they are not as good as Tarzan. There's not much between the last few movies, so perhaps Brother Bear is a little fortunate to rank so highly. Number 2 is Treasure Planet from 2002, based on the book Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson. This is a futuristic take on the familiar tale. Jim Hawkins is a young adventurer. His mum runs a restaurant at the end of the universe. When a spaceship crashes, pilot Billy Bones gives a precious item to Jim and warns him of the cyborg. Benbow Inn is attacked by a cyborg, but Jim manages to escape, and the item turns out to be a map to Treasure Planet. Jim goes to the spaceport and sails on the ship RLS Legacy, named after Treasure Island's author. Captain Amelia and Mr. Arrow run the unsavoury crew, while Jim works for the cook, John Silver, who has cyborg parts, along with a pet blob called Morph. Jim's father left when he was a boy, and John Silver becomes a father figure to him while on board. When a star goes supernova, the ship must outrun the storm as it turns into a black hole. Mr. Arrow is lost overboard, and Jim overhears Silver scheming with the rest of the crew. Within sight of Treasure Planet, the crew plan a mutiny led by John Silver. Jim and Captain Amelia escape on a longboat and crash on the planet. Jim explores the strange world and meets Ben, a marooned robot. They hide out at Ben's and sneak past the space pirates camp back to the ship where they try to retrieve the map. Silver captures the captain and the astronomer who accompanied Jim on the journey. They follow the map to Flint's treasure, but it is booby-trapped. Silver saves Jim and sacrifices the treasure. They flee the exploding planet, and Jim manages to save the crew and ship. The inn is reopened, and Jim finds his place among the stars. The reason I put this film higher on this list is because of the relationship between Jim and John Silver. It could have been a simple double cross, but the father-son relationship adds a layer of emotion to the movie and puts it slightly above a few others on this list. Safely coming in at number 1 is Princess and the Frog from 2009, the last Disney movie from the 2000s. Set in New Orleans, Tiana's mum is a seamstress and her father dreams of opening a restaurant called Tiana's Place. When Tiana grows up, she works multiple jobs to save for her dream. Prince Naveen is coming to town as Tiana looks to buy an old sugar mill which she hopes to turn into a successful restaurant. Dr. Facilier, the Shadow Man, uses voodoo blood magic to turn Prince Naveen into a frog and put his manservant Lawrence into Naveen's body. Lottie throws a party hoping to marry a prince. Tiana works the masquerade and learns she has been outbid on the restaurant. Tiana is dressed up by her friend Lottie before wishing on an evening star and kissing a frog, which turns out to be Prince Naveen, turning Tiana into a frog. They escape to the bayou and befriend a crocodile called Lewis, who dreams of being a magician. Lottie agrees to marry Lawrence, disguised as Prince Naveen, as Lawrence and Dr. Facilier plan to steal her father's money. Dr. Facilier needs Naveen's blood to continue his spell, so he makes a deal with spirits to help him locate his target. Naveen saves Tiana from hunters before spirits grab Naveen. They are saved by Mama Odie. Prince Naveen needs to kiss Lottie before midnight to make him human again. They return during Mardi Gras. Tiana sees Lottie and Lawrence disguised as Prince Naveen getting married. Ray the Firefly interrupts the ceremony. Dr. Facilier offers Tiana dreams of a restaurant, but she realises her love for Naveen is more important. Tiana destroys the spell, and the Shadow Man is taken by the spirits. Ray dies and joins his Evangeline in the sky. Tiana and Naveen get married as frogs, but when they kiss, they become human once more. Tiana opens a restaurant with Naveen. A lot of people believe Tangled was the film that brought Disney back to its roots, but I believe Princess and the Frog was the first step towards this improvement in Disney films. While it does not match some of the classics from the 90s, it shares many similar traits, such as songs and a twist on a classic fairy tale story, which many of the movies during the 2000s resisted. It comfortably tops this list. Thank you for watching. Let me know if you agree or disagree with my list in the comments, and whether you want me to continue this series and review the Disney movies from the 2010s and the 2020s. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, give it a like and share it. I'm looking to post a new video every Monday, so be sure to come back for that. And click the link on screen to watch another Disney video. Until next time, hoorah!